landing confirmed.
And a bullseye target landing for SpaceX with its booster 1078. Landing now for a second time. Or excuse me, a 10th time.
Seco.
Hear that call off for Seco, the Falcon 9 second stage now going into a parking orbit where we'll coast until T plus 53 minutes and 57 seconds, where there will be a brief 1 second burn, setting up for the Starlink satellites to deploy T plus 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 5 seconds. And that'll go ahead and just about do it for today, as we see an empty pad there. The transporter erector will start to be brought up to a vertical position, part of SpaceX's process of turning around the pad as quickly as possible for future flights. Just a couple folks to thank before we go ahead and turn to our mission stats that currently stand. Our thanks to Jai for a Australian dollar super chat. Thank you so much, Jai. And to channel member Mel Roberts Harold for a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Mel, who says, thanks to Mr. Harold this morning. I was finally able to watch the launch and listen this one on the TV screen instead of my phone, which is excellent. Live launch coverage is always best viewed on the biggest screen possible, so glad to hear that. Taking a look at our mission stats that currently stand now, we've got a good liftoff and touchdown of the Falcon 9 first stage booster 10/6/2024, including the third integrated flight test of Starship. This was SpaceX's 116th orbital launch in the last 365 days, the 188th from Pad 40, and the 243rd overall orbital launch from this pad to date. Taking a look at the bar chart here, the data is wrong, but the number is right. This is their 55th launch on the year. Coming into some recovery stats, this was the 72nd landing on the drone ship A Short Fall of Gravitas, the 245th SpaceX drone ship landing, and the 313th booster landing to date. Finally, some industry stats, and things have changed a little bit. Tell you what I mean in a second. This was the 40th orbital launch from Florida, the 58th from U.S. soil, the 63rd from a U.S. rocket company, and the 103rd orbital launch from around the world. And we now have 3 orbital launch failures. Where's the third one coming from? Well, that's from the newest country to join our orbital launch pie here. See that tiny sliver from North Korea with the 2 asterisks. They joined Japan as being the currently only 2 countries that have had a complete orbital launch failure so far in 2024, as they tried to launch a military reconnaissance satellite yesterday, and about 2 minutes into the ascent, the first stage blew up. So, North Korea taking the L on that one. Of course, in violation of some international regulations on operating a ballistic launch of any sort, including and up to a space launch. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled on any additional ramifications for North Korea in making this launch attempt and what comes next for that country. Nevertheless, got again an empty pad here, and of course over in southern Texas, if we can go ahead and bring that view back for just a moment. Fueling operations very much in swing here in southern Texas. As you can see, quite a bit more frost now on the Super Heavy booster as tanking operations continue in preparation for Flight 4 of the full Starship stack that you see here on your screen. You can continue watching this tanky test over on our 24-hour live stream channel, that is Launchpad Live, right here on YouTube. I want to thank Callistia Lee, one of our channel members, now moderator, for being a member for 8 months at the launch director level. Appreciate that. And Callistia says, thank you, Will, and all Spaceflight Now for all the awesome coverage. Appreciate all of you too. And thanks also, and yes, very much to Stephanie B for staying up so late. It is 12:38 a.m. down in Australia, so appreciate you, Stephanie, for hanging tough with us for quite a bit of delays on this mission, both by another day and several hours or a few hours into the launch window, but we got this one done and dusted. Speaking of Stephanie B, she's been a member now for 15 months. Says, thank you all for dropping by.